Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Mega Man here, and I'm back for the Maxi Toys, and welcome back to more Let's Play of Sonic the Hedgehog CD for the Mega CD / Sega CD if you guys lived in North America, and Sega PC version on 1996 version, and also the HD re-release version on the game on, you know, as you expected, Xbox Live Arcade, PlayStation Network, and of course PC Steam version. And yeah, we're about to be hitting back onto Tails' playthrough. So yeah, last time the React did manage to tackle through 3 zones, much like how it does in Sonic's playthrough. It's the fact that we actually did travel to, or just imagine, just explore the Tidal Tempest zone, and especially the Quartz Quadrant zone, and even Wacky Workbench. And even then, I found the Tails' playthrough on the Wacky Workbench is far more easier compared to how it does in Sonic's version, because you can actually have the ability to fly anywhere as long as you actually try to land on platforms and all that, etc. So yeah, today for this episode, we're about to hopefully try to finish up with Tails' playthrough. And after all, oh yeah, there's one thing I've not mentioned about the last video, is that after all, we actually did get ourselves all 7 of these time stones, despite the fact that I actually had one mistake, and that was the informing of Act 1 of Quartz Quadrant. So anyway, so now we're going to be returning back onto Stardust Speedway, aka one of my favorite levels of the game, or in this case, the best stage in the entire game, so to speak, for that kind of stuff. And as far as I can tell, that between the Japanese and European soundtrack version, I found is really catchy and really memorable. And even then, whenever I listen to the USA version of this particular soundtrack, it does remind me like I was watching a concert, or even the orchestra type of horns type of instruments, like this little, let's just say, for example, if I was going to be seeing the Hollywood Bowl, then even then, it does remind me of that for this particular tune. But anyway, so anyways, you probably noticed by now that you can clearly see, well, you can clearly hear my sniffing nose still. But even then, good news, folks, is that I'm pretty much almost healed up. But even then, my voice was a bit off at that one point. But even then, that I wasn't exactly 100% yet. But even then, eventually I will start to make it feel better until whenever I just manage to, eventually until tomorrow, that after when this Let's Play was about to, or before when this Let's Play is about to be over, and that means that some Toys Else can actually just tackle for the next new Let's Play, or even sometimes new redo Let's Plays and stuff like that. So anyways, here we have the Good Future version on Act 2 for some reason, because even though we already see how the Good Future looks like in Stardust Speedway. So yeah, and yeah, that's all there was to say. So and now we're going to be doing with the Metal Sonic race for a second time, but this time with the form of Tails. I think this is predictably without doubt one of the hardest version of Metal Sonic Race to me. Even though, as long as if you actually try to pay attention to your speed, and especially the spin dash timing, and even with your, you know, the flight ability timing as well, as long as if you actually try to keep up with your flying meter keeping on, then you can actually just manage to breeze for these types of races super fast and very quick. And by the way, if you get hit by these little lasers, it doesn't count as one hit KO. The only time it makes one hit KO is in form of when you start the race. However, that's not the case if you actually try to start up the race up or preparing for the race. So, yeah, as you can clearly tell that as long as you try to keep up with your distance away from Metal Sonic's attacks, but even then, that of all the trophies I've managed to encounter from Sonic CD, specifically on the PlayStation Network version, especially noticeable on the iOS version of the game, that of all the trophies I managed to come across into, the trophy is actually called Do Not Get Hit by Metal Sonic, and this was predictably, in my honest opinion, this is by far the hardest trophy to get, because it's almost like identical to Untouchable trophy on Sonic 4 Episode 1. So anyway, so you still manage to actually race against with Metal Sonic, and once you reach the end, then the boss battle is pretty much done. However, you know the Sonic's playthrough on Sonic CD? They probably noticed there was Amy on the stage. However, in Tails' playthrough, instead it's been replaced as flower capsules. But even then, that's something really makes it so much more unique compared to how it does it for the other 2D Sonic games, is that as soon as you try to destroy this little capsule when it contains something rewarding, somehow this game only incorporates that you actually try to restore flowers, which is kind of a cutie thing, to say that much. But anyway though. So now we're going to be moving on into the final zone in Sonic CD in general, and that was the form of Metallic Madness. Even then though, as far as I was expecting, that we pretty much almost done with Tails' story. So, even then though, that, again, Amy does not include it in his story at all, as long as if you actually try to, like, play through Sonic's story. So even then though, that's as far as I can think of. So anyway, I guess it's not much else we can talk about for you here, guys. It's just the fact that you probably noticed by now. It's the fact that you can constantly hear my sniffing notes at the moment, which I know is not pleasant to look at or not pleasant to listen to. But even then, though, that's as far as I'm concerned with this particular part. But as long as if I was trying to actually put up with some different voice clips in my microphone, then I should able to clarify that I can actually just manage to realize that I can, you know, you can clearly hear my voice just fine. Well, not perfect by any means, but it's just the fact it's a little bit too average. So anyway, yeah, I guess it's all much else I can talk through here, folks. It's just basically that, honestly, that the next film I was going to be seeing for this particular cinema films I was going to be seeing, and that was in form of Beauty and the Beast 27th edition, or in this case 2017 film, where the one contains like an actor from Emma Wilson from the Harry Potter franchise. But even then, I'm still really hyping for this film until when it's actually going to come out. I'm pretty sure it's actually going to be coming until next 5 days actually before its actual release, which I'm actually quite excited about that. But even then though, yeah. As far as for the reviews of it so far, it was actually pretty good for the looks of it from the Rotten Tomatoes, or in this case, RottenTomatoes.com. But I believe it, as far as the score on that film was actually based off of 74%, not to be confused as the 74 coded number from Kingdoms of 74. In fact, speaking of Kingdoms of 74, I have not seen him for a very long time, which still is more predictable, but I think how long did I haven't seen him since? Even then I have to double check on those certain websites ago on one hand. But even then though, I kind of wish it was just, I kind of wish he would just actually make a comeback on recording sessions on these particular Let's Plays and all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately though, the only downside you must think of is that he does have lesser amount of subscribers, unlike ours. Like, in our channel, it's like we actually reach up to like the 121 subscribers now, not to be confused as, again, 121 stars in Super Mario Galaxy. That's as far as the, you know, the amount of stars amounts, which is pretty cool and insane at the same time. So anyway, alright, now we're going to be exploring Act 2 of Metallic Madness, which again is probably the longest act in the entire game, because, again, there's so many ways that you can actually walk around on, and as a result, there's not much I can talk about. So anyways, you can easily just skip this particular sequence right there while just simply just flying. Oh god, I need a ring. In fact, once I go past this little shrinking laser, then, oh look, it's that mini version of Tails. He's pretty cute. Almost like double as cute as his so for Sonic. Anyways, as far as whenever I did manage to see these sorts of uploads on Kingdoms of 74's department, I've not seen him since almost about 2 months ago, which was since Super Luigi Galaxy playthrough, which he'll still currently going to be doing at the moment. I think for the time being, I'm presuming he's going to be, I think he has, his vacation he's actually going to be exploring on. I think he was actually now in, let's just say, Disneyland Resort Paris in Florida, which is usually takes place in the United States of America, which that's the way that how he's having to take a break on uploading schedules and all that kind of stuff. But even then, as soon as he comes back, then I'm pretty sure. Oh, what the what? Anyway, so you can easily just skip bypass this little sequence right there while simply just flying. So even then, this makes this level of time a bit more shorter compared to how it does it for Sonic's version, because again, Sonic cannot perform a supersonic mode, because even then, that, you know, time stones can be acted out as, like, you know, just creating, good futures in every single act. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Now on to the final stage in the game already, as in good future version. So anyways, yeah, I apologize for the annoying sound you can probably hear at this point. But even then, I'm keeping away from my microphone recording as much as I possibly could. But anyway though, so far we did not die on Tails' playthrough so far, which actually, this does remind me of something like almost entirely like I could have wished if I was going to be doing a no-death run between Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, and even Sonic's playthrough on Sonic CD, but unfortunately though, due to the lack of timing I actually pulled off through, and at the same time, that, I think Tails definitely is the easier mode of Sonic CD, technically speaking, because you can actually just, you know, fly whatever you wanted to, as long as you actually have some altitude for a few moments. So anyways, now we're going to be dealing with these little bulb-looking enemies, which is much like it does in Sonic's version, is that we have to deal with all 3 of them before we actually proceed to the final boss. So, yeah, that's pretty cool though, I have to say this much. Now, in addition to that though, however, there's one thing I've not mentioned to you guys about earlier, is that originally, that's on the 2011 version on Sonic CD most likely, originally they were trying to make the extra true final boss in the game, which was called, the Final Fever, which according to what the boss itself is going to be called it. But even then though, that according to the rumors about this kind of stuff, what happens was though is that basically what it does is that basically originally it was going to be planted on here, like for instance the Final Fever was actually the mobile called it R9. But originally there was going to be, they're trying to place that on specifically a Christian Whitehead version. However, it's been completely scrapped due to the time limitations and all that kind of stuff. I'm assuming that's what this is going. So even then, as a result, the Final FIFA boss battle is completely scrapped. So even then, we have to pretty much going to be stuck with Psycho Egg instead. So even then, that's just one thing I must confess with all that kind of stuff. So anyway, and that's pretty much it for Tails' playthrough on Sonic CD. But again, there's no ending cutscene or anything like that, because as a result, there's no Amy shown on screen. And as a result, what you do get for as a reward, it is just your blank background with just some text of your stat credits. And as you can clearly can tell from the music already, is the sorry, I can't speak today. Is the instrumental version on Sonic Boom's ending, which that does sound pretty cool nonetheless, but unfortunately though, there's no lyrics involved. In fact, speaking of such though, is that once you actually begin the intro of the game, and especially the ending of the game as, well, Sonic CD, most likely, for Sonic's campaign anyway, if you actually try to set up into, the Japanese soundtrack and European soundtrack, it doesn't have lyrics at all. So even then though, the only exception to this, however, was actually Sonic Boom, because it actually got some lyrics in this version. That's just so much so for how it does it for, the same also likes how it does it for the ending too. Which, that makes me wonder, why though? So anyways, there's not much else I can talk through for this particular day as far as at this point in time. But besides the point, I would like to talk about the overall of the game already. So even then though, specifically the definitive version of the game is the, of course, the HD version of the game. So, what do I think of Sonic CD overall? This is pretty much the unique Sonic game to actually be released on Mega CD / Sega CD, and somehow for some reason that this wasn't the only Sonic game to be released on a Mega CD, although technically speaking that Sonic Mega Mix does tend to be count, but even though that's usually just part of the ROM hacks, and that's all there is to say. So apart from those side of things, that unfortunately though, this game doesn't sell many copies, as so much so for Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. It's not the game's fault or anything like that, it's just this, you know, the awkward add-on with the Sega CD or the Mega CD add-on, which is kind of more likely the poor sales department for that particular add-on. However, the only way you can get this game is by via the, well, of course you can actually get it on the emulator if you're trying to download it and all that kind of stuff. And it's also for the likes of Sonic Gems Collection version on, well, GameCube and PlayStation 2, but what that does is basically allows you to play the game as part of the PC version, the 1996 version, so that's one thing I must come across into bio for that. And however though, you can also get this game for either, as I mentioned earlier, the PlayStation 3 version, the Xbox 360 version, and even the PC Steam version, which can cost you a bit of money, which I do think is kind of worth it, because I think it was actually cost about, let's just say, $3.99 as for pounds department, almost so to £4 entirely. However though, luckily though, if you're actually trying to get yourselves the iOS version on Sonic CD, you can actually get it for free, which is actually pretty interesting. However, the only downside I can think of is that you have to cooperate and try to deal with these advertising interruptions, which is kind of lame, honestly. But apart from that, though, some nice little things and all that kinds of stuff. However, I will say that I will talk about the overall of the game so far until when I actually go into the extras video as far as I'm concerned with those parts. So even then, though, I need to actually get my voice fixed. Even then, though, once my voice has been completely fixed until either the next day or the other day, then I should be able to clarify to talk through the extras department on Sonic CD, specifically the HD version of the game. So, speaking of the extra video, though, I guess what I have to end things off here. So join me next time on Let's Play Sonic CD. It's about that we're going to be showing you guys the extra stuff of how this game offers on the HD re-release version on Sonic CD. So this is me, Mega Man here, and until then, I'll meet you guys there. So see you guys next time. Later, fellas.